You are now tuned into Flippin the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome all to another episode of Flippin the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron alongside Morgan Burkett, and we're bringing you a double dose of Flippin the Birds now weekly. This is our Q&A episode, our mailbag episode, whatever you guys want to call it at the end of the day. We're going to answer all your Twitter questions, your Instagram questions, your Facebook questions, whatever the case may be. But before we do that, shout out to my guy Morgan. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to get this going. This has been a long time coming. Me and you've been talking about this, so I'm excited. I'm hyped to talk to our followers, our fans, and just Eagles fans in general about football. So I'm looking forward to this, and I hope this takes off, man, because I would love to do this all the time.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's a little bit more calmer that we get to do a recorded episode without the chaos of our very welcoming chat that we usually have. So shout out to everybody that's always joining us live on YouTube. We are live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. It's usually Chris, myself, and Morgan, alongside a media member from another site of the opposing team of that week. So we did recap on Tuesday, the incredible outlook, of the win that the Eagles had against the Falcons. But now we're going to answer your questions that you guys submitted live to us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So I figure we might as well dig right into it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So our first question comes from the Bry Guy 90 on Twitter. His question is, after week 1, have expectations changed for this season and by how much?
All right, I'll take this one first, and then we'll flip and flop because I don't want to take your ideas.
No, you're good.
For me, man, and I know that, you're going to talk about it too. You had pretty good expectations for this season. They don't change. Like, this is what we expected the team is to beat bad teams, right? It didn't have to be by that much. That margin of victory was nice. Really, I appreciate the way the defense finished. I think we knew this offense kind of had the potential to be explosive, but yeah, man, I think it's still, borderline playoff team. I think that this game didn't change my opinion. Now, if we go out and beat the Bucs or the Chiefs, maybe then I'll get on board. And honestly, the 49ers are going to be a good test too. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But I think I'm still on par with what did I say? Damn, the 17 games is messing me up.
Did you say 6 or 7 wins?
Oh no, that's Chris, man. I was like 9 or 10 wins. 9 or 10.
Wait, you were 9 to 10 wins.
I think I said 9. I think I said 9 in my final prediction. 9 and 8. I think that's what. I had some wins for sure. But yeah, 9 and 8. That's still a good season, man. Maybe borderline playoff team. I think we could win the division with 9 and 8 the way it's looking, man, to be honest. But
I completely agree with that. And I'm very bullish on my stance with the team as I kick my microphone around. So sorry whoever's listening. I'm just looking at the schedule right now because you emphasized something. This team did what we expected them to do. They beat a bad team, something that they have not done since 2017. 2018, Carson was rushed back. He didn't look himself. 2019, Carson had the beautiful ending to that season. 2020 was went down the rabbit hole, and it hasn't come back for Carson since. But for Jalen Hurts, it's progressing in the right direction. And for Nick Sirianni, it's progressing in the right direction. And if we're talking about the team being able to beat bad teams, right? I'm going to go off a limb right here. 49ers to me, yes, they scored a lot against the Lions, but the Lions, they almost came back and won the game. Jared Goff almost showed up, and that's a telling sign. And they lost Jason Verrett, they lost Raheem Mostert, Jimmy Garoppolo still the quarterback. I'm not going to consider them a good team. Let's just go on the idea that they're a bad team, right? So that's win number 2. They had the Panthers, not really a good team. Win number 3, the Raiders. Not a really a good team. Win number 4.
Although that was an impressive win.
That was very impressive. I feel like the Ravens lost that game more than the Raiders won that game.
That's fair. I agree.
So we're at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 5 wins right now, right? And we're at the Lions right now. The Lions is the 5th win in my book. Chargers, we know they're a young and upcoming team, so I'll give the Chargers the benefit of the doubt. Broncos win number 6. Saints win number 7. I don't think Winston's gonna beat Sirianni and company. That's not my belief.
All right. I like the compliment.
New York Giants are next. Win number 8. Jets win number 9. Bye week. Football team, no Ryan Fitzpatrick. Win number 10. I expected this team to win 10 games this year, but it doesn't stop there. Giants are the week after. Win number 11. Washington win number 12. Cowboys probably end up beating the Eagles in the last game anyways, but it's very possible like that they could go beyond our expectations if they do beat the bad teams going forward.
It's true.
So my expectations was this will be a 10-7 team. There'll be a playoff team or a wild card team, whatever the case may be, they'll be in contention. Mm-hmm. But dude, if they stay on the same track that they're on right now, and Jalen Hurts is able to really control the game, it's gonna be filled. This is 2017 all over again. And I don't want to say Super Bowl buzz. But my thing is like this is how good the team can be.
A game you didn't even mention that the Cowboys are looking dinged up, man. I know they're gonna be a good team. It's gonna be about the offense, but no DeMarcus Lawrence.
Broken foot.
So we might get lucky there. Play a banged up Cowboys team.
And we don't even, like with this kind of schedule, we don't have to beat the good teams. Like I get it, people are gonna say like, "Hey, they didn't beat any good teams." Like that's that's a bad indication, which is fine. I don't care. But if you're going to the playoffs and you have say 12 wins, and that's possibly the best record in the NFC, you have home field advantage. You have the chaos of Philadelphia on like riding on your back as teams enter the link. Like that is the recipe for greatness for Sirianni and Hurts.
For sure. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I think you're talking a lot of sense. So
I'm still going with 10 wins. I'm just saying like it's wild to think that if they beat bad teams,
for sure,
they can win 12 games.
Yeah.
I personally still think they win 10 games.
Easiest schedule in the books, you got to take advantage, right? So
absolutely. Like this is it's very possible. But 100%. let's not take all the time on that. I'm getting a little too excited about that right now. By the way, shout out to Philadelphia right now because I went on to NFL Shop today. I went to Fanatics. I went to the Eagles Pro Shop website, and every single jersey is sold out. At least in my size. I don't know if you're a double XL, but
you can feel the energy with the team, but you can feel the energy with the fans, man. Like people are getting excited. It's nice because it's been like, I mean, even if they were good the last couple of years, and obviously last year was not, but it wasn't the same kind of energy. It wasn't the same vibe, So
it was hard because I think the issue at hand was Carson Wentz coming in. Like you feel like this kid was gonna be the face of the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. Then he goes down with an injury. Pat Mahomes comes into the picture. Lamar Jackson comes into the picture.
Yeah.
He loses that ideology of himself, and then he is who he is now. Like I put a tweet out the other day, and I got into an argument with one of a former PSN guys, David Esser. So shout out to Essie. We will bring him on a pod one day to debate this specific topic, but I don't want to hold on to this topic for too long. Ryan Clark on ESPN said, "This is the most competent quarterback play we've seen in probably 2 to 3 years." And I personally feel like he's not wrong. And you, of all people, know I'm a huge Carson Wentz fan. I love Carson. I think I have 2 or 3 jerseys of his in my room. I have a Funko Pop of him. Like I love Carson Wentz. Like that was when he was drafted. That was the guy for us. Yeah. But he's not wrong. Look at the way Carson played on Sunday. The pocket was clean, and he did you look at the tape? Like the pocket was pretty clean enough to make him to make the right plays. But he's always looking for the long ball, the hero ball. And Jalen Hurts is, he's being a game manager, and that's competent play.
Yeah, I mean, I would put a little asterisk on that 4 or 5 game stretch at the end of that, like the 2 seasons ago, when Carson literally just put the team on his back with practice squad. That was pretty incredible. But I feel like the Colts, and I know we got more questions to get to, but I feel like the Colts have a quarterback type, right? Andrew Luck is fantastic. Then they went Philip Rivers, and now it's Carson Wentz. Like I don't know, like we thought what Carson was going to be. We had this image in our head, and now I feel like he's fitting into more of that mold of like Rivers is, kind of a gunslinger, got smarter with age and all that stuff. Obviously a really good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but Yeah, he's kind of fitting into that mold now. Like the athletic is, escaping the pocket, but it's not really to. And he did make some runs, but I feel like if he's going to develop into the quarterback we hope he was going to be, it's not going to be the guy we thought. It's going to be more of that kind of vein where he develops as a, game manager a bit more and does his checkdowns. I don't think we see 2017 Carson Wentz anymore.
2017, he was borderline game manager / borderline gunslinger. Like what we saw from Jalen on Sunday was kind of what. It was kind of that same style.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we'll get more questions. We could talk about Wentz for a time too. But
listen, I'm calling you out, Essie. If you're listening to this podcast, I have a gut feeling you might be. We're gonna get you on. We're gonna talk about this. All right. So next question comes from Twitter. Zech Mix, ZECH Mix. Do you think Reagor will break out this year with Jalen Hurts behind them? I'm on the fence about this.
Yeah.
And so when I saw Reagor this Sunday, right, and I saw him take the screen pass to the end zone, it gave me gadget player vibes. You get me? Yeah. Like it didn't give me a full all around wide receiver. Even though like Reagor, like college tape says, hey, he's an all around wide receiver. He could beat you in a deep game. He could beat you in a short game. He could beat you in screen and the swing routes, the trick plays. Yeah. But he hasn't shown that in the NFL yet. We haven't seen Reagor make much plays in the middle of the field. We haven't seen Reagor really beat anybody deep, except for week 1 last year when he barely beat Ronald Darby deep. He caught the ball, fell to the ground, and called it a day. My fear is that this is Reagor's ceiling. Like Reagor is going to be a gadget player, which is not a terrible thing. Some players have, succeeded as gadget players for their teams, but I think for a first round pick, the expectation is that you're all around wide receiver. You're a great route technician. You're great with your hands. You're great with getting open, getting separation, and we're seeing that with Devontae Smith. I want Reagor to break out. I want Reagor to show up and show out. But my biggest fear is that his ceiling is that he could be a gadget player.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that I don't disagree, but I think we're speaking more about his floor. I mean, like we've saw what he can do as a gadget player. What I hope is, I think with the last coaching staff, they got this ball of clay and they didn't really know what to do with it. They knew he was an athlete, similar to what we saw with like a Josh Huff kind of guy, right? Like,
yes,
clearly an athlete, clearly very talented, and never really turned out. What I'm hoping is, I mean, the main thing is the route running, right? Not a terrible route runner by any means, but it doesn't really have any like nuance to it. It's very like it's good. It's quick. You could be quicker on the break a bit.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping is he develops that post corner package. That would be really nice. And then gets really good on the under routes, the ends. Get like we don't even need a break from him. Just the speed routes, right? So the speed in, speed outs, stuff like that. And then after the catch is where we gotta see that's something special, right? We know we can do it on screens. That's great. He's got straight line speed, but the things you saw in college is he can juke, he can move.
Yeah,
he
can move.
Lateral speed. So what I want to see is those crossing routes and the ins and outs, and that's gonna be his package. And I think they're working towards it. We don't really need to see it against Atlanta. Like that's the thing. It was one game and we were doing whatever we wanted essentially. But what my vision is, you got Dallas Goedert working the seam. You got Dallas Goedert working the corner routes. They love to throw them bench. I call them bench routes, but essentially they're out and ups. They do that a lot. You got, Ertz doing the ins and outs, doing his thing, some slants. And you got Devontae Smith doing literally anything you want him to do.
I love him. I love Devontae. By the way, whoever bought the size large Devontae Smith jersey in green, if you guys don't really need it for yourself,
yeah, honestly,
DM me. I'll give you my address. You can send it as a gift. Free swag. We're all about that here.
For sure.
Perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper to ship to Canada, so you can send it here. Yeah, but yeah, so you got that. So where we're really missing is that, I mean, and Quez Watkins can take the top off. He can pretty much do what Reagor does as well. But what you're missing is those quick crossers. And then the post and corners. We don't really need him to do much else. And then obviously the go routes, we've seen him do that. So I think that we might not see it for another year or two, but I I'm
think he's
still
more of a
high on.
developmental wide receiver?
Yeah, I think the thing is when we thought of it as I don't know if he's a first round pick receiver, to be honest, looking back. I think he's a second round player, and that's kind of what his valuation was coming in. Sometimes the draft nuts get it right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do still see the upside, man. And one thing we haven't really seen is like Carson when he was throwing jump balls and he's trusting his receivers and stuff like that. He's bombing it. Like we saw that one. Remember that one deep post and like Rager just like everyone's questioning whether or not he stopped on it or whatever.
Yeah,
like yeah, he's wide open. You don't need to throw it out for him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like just put it on him, right? And obviously easier said than done. But what we haven't seen is the jump balls, man. You're watching his TCU tape and he's mossing guys. He can do that. And we really haven't seen any of that. So I hope that Jalen Hurts, he seems to trust his receivers a bit more with those kind of things. That was a tight window he threw to Devontae Smith, but he's just like he's gonna be there. So I think that's gonna be better, and I think that's where we're gonna see him develop. And then on top of that, the route combos. So yeah, I think if he's showing his floor right now, you got a great gadget player.
Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree with that. I want to see that slot receiver that people are gonna be like, hey. If we cover Devontae Smith, we had to deal with Jalen Reagor, and that's another issue. Like that's how I want people to enter a game with Philadelphia. If you cover one receiver, the other one's gonna be a problem. Like that's exactly how it should be, and I'm hoping that's how it turns out to be.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll happen, man. I think it will. It's exciting.
So the next question actually might be your favorite question out of all the questions. The moment this was asked, actually, your first person came to mind because you wanted to talk about this a lot throughout the off season, but it comes from Shawn Shank on Instagram. So at Shawn.Shank, what do we think about Kayvon's chances of making the most of his opportunities this season? First part question. Will we see growth given the current injury situation at safety?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I had to temper my expectations a bit. I'm really high on Kayvon. I think he's a dog. I love the mentality. That's something that Philly's needed for a long time on their defense. But what I see with this defense, even from the first game, is that they're not really going to force any of their players to do anything they're not comfortable with. And so I think the development's going to be a bit slower than I thought at first. But, man, this guy, even as a niche player, can be incredible. I mean, what we heard in the offseason is, he's calling out Cam's plays, and that's one of the question marks. Well, that's one of the question marks we had from college is he going to be a smart player? We knew he's a dog. We knew he's physical. We knew he's an athlete, but can he develop that,
dog mentality?
Yeah, and then like that feel for the NFL game. And if he's calling Cam Newton's plays, even if it is preseason, even if they are joint practices, you'd love to see the development. But I think for this year, it's going to be packages. We're going to see him take over in certain packages and just be hard to deal with. But I don't know if he's ever going to be that single high guy. I think that we drafted him to fit the Malcolm Jenkins role. That's what he's supposed to do, and I don't know that exists as much in this defense. But man, when we go into those packages, I expect to see some really good plays. And injury situation, man, like I mean, Rodney's gonna be back soon. That's the hope.
But Epps is still concussion protocol, and he's not progressing right now, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sorry he's going through the concussion protocol, but I don't miss him on the field right now. Like, I don't mean to be mean.
Did you see the tackle? Like, he went head first into the tackle.
Yeah, I've never been super high on him.
Yeah.
He's a good depth guy for sure. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Because, I don't know.
I feel like Kayvon, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Kayvon is a dog, man. Kayvon is he's definitely the alpha male that you want in your defense.
100%.
But he needs 100% of the opportunities. But the only way, what it seems like is in Nick Sirianni's kingdom right now, right? And his culture. The only way you get 100% of the opportunities is if you give 110% to what Nick Sirianni wants, what Jonathan Gannon wants.
Right.
What Jeffrey Lurie wants. You have to give more than what they're giving you at the end of the day. And that's a telltale sign with Travis Fulgham, John Hightower. Kayvon could be great. He can be great. I truly believe
worried
that.
About the complacency, eh? That's what you're worried about?
I'm very worried about that because I feel like he's going to get lost in the shuffle of this new regime. And that's my biggest fear with him. Now, he needs to make the most of these opportunities right now. Against
Absolutely.
the 49ers, you have to show up. He did pretty damn good against the Falcons, but it was everybody says the Falcons. But you got to keep going. You got to do the Alex Singleton. You got to make the most of your opportunities and keep trucking forward. That's the only way you're going to be the consistent guy that you want to be on the field. And it like, look around you. Like, Travis Fulgham was the wide receiver for the Eagles last year.
Yeah.
I got his freaking jersey in my closet. Thank God I didn't pay for it. I won that jersey. But I got Carson jersey. I got a Travis Fulgham jersey, bro. Like, I need to re-up. You gotta stand out. So in my line of work, people tell me you got to do something different if you want to move forward. You got to do something that other people are not doing. Malcolm Jenkins did something that nobody else was doing, and he became the guy. Brian Dawkins was doing something that nobody else was doing, became the guy. What is Kayvon Wallace going to do differently to be the guy? That's the ultimate question right now. No matter who's at safety right now, no matter if he's a backup or if he's only doing this, it's showing out in practice. What are you going to do different from Rodney McLeod and Marcus Epps right now? That's point blank what it is to me. That's
a good point. He does give me a little bit of that Brian Dawkins mentality, like that feeling.
I love it, bro. When we spoke to him, he's just like, he's like a humble beast, man. That's the best way to put it. Like, the dude is super humble, and but the moment the helmet comes on, he was like, "Okay, I'm coming for your neck and your mother's neck."
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. That's why that's why I love Timmy Jernigan. That's why I miss that guy.
I feel like we have it with Javon Hargrave. It's gonna come out.
Bro. Oh yeah, 100%.
I love 100%. Hargrave, man. That was a steal. That was a really big steal last offseason.
Yeah, honestly.
All right.
So, I was talking to a Steelers fan the other day, actually, and he's just like, "Man, if we could have kept
one of my good friends is a Steelers fan. He was like, dude, like if they scheme him right, Javon Hargrave is gonna show out, and he's showing out. He had 2 sacks in the first game.
Yeah, how to pay Juju instead or something.
All right. So next question comes from Shawn Shank on Instagram again. I think Sean's one of our most consistent listeners from the beginning of time of Flippin the Birds. So shout out to you, Sean. A lot of these guys actually, like Zach, Bry Guy, and then even Jay Fizz threw a question in here. Like, these guys who consistently listen to Flippin the Birds and are consistently involved in our chats. So big shout out to you guys. We really appreciate the support and all you guys have given us. So we're trying to give you guys back 110%.
Absolutely.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly are some of these 49ers fans tempting fate by deciding to go mess with the Rocky statue? Do you remember the last time this happened?
Yes.
NFC Championship game.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Absolutely.
Minnesota. But I feel like they don't need to mess with fate. Because this is the first time the Eagles are going to face Jimmy Garoppolo 1, right? And I feel like Jimmy's too pretty for the link. That's the best way to put it. Jimmy's too pretty for Philly.
That, honestly, huge factor. Huge factor that's in Philly. That's massive.
Too gritty. And I feel like this defensive line, like, people are still, and it's wild because we spoke to Pat Holloway. I strongly believe that the Eagles at the end of the season will have the best defensive line in all of football if they can stay healthy. And it looks like they're doing a hell of a good job with rotating because we saw Patrick Johnson come in. He didn't play on the line. He was a linebacker, but he did rush the pass. This defensive line, it's going to rival the defensive line of the Washington football team.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best defensive line in football.
Well, I think you named the key, right? There's the rotation. We're deep. We're really a really deep team in Washington. We got Kerrigan on our team now, right? That is their depth. So if any of those guys get hurt, I think they have a better starting 3, 4. What they around. But I think that they may be better than us there. But the other thing we saw against Falcons is it just wears on you, right? Like, was Fletch amazing? No, but in the fourth quarter, no one could deal with him. He was pressing the pocket. I think we saw more Hargrave kind of capitalize. Even Hassan Ridgeway got in there for some sacks, but it was just like it wears on you. Now
these guys going to eat because of Fletcher Cox, because of what he brings to the table.
Absolutely. The question is, can we stop teams early? Because the Falcons looked like they were about to drive on us over and over and over again in the first drive, and then we slowed them down. But that's not going to work against teams like the Bucs, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, right? So I think it's about and obviously it is a complicated defense to learn. We're doing a lot of stuff. Got a lot of young guys not necessarily in the secondary, in the safety position, but corners are fine, but linebackers too, right? That was a big problem, is over pursue with the linebackers. They kept hitting those cut back lanes and stuff like that. So I feel like it will calm down, but we're not going to cut it against the Cowboys. That's Elliott's bread and butter. That's Ezekiel Elliott's bread and butter. So, what was the question? Oh, the statue. Yeah, absolutely. If you believe in football gods, absolutely. You don't do that kind of stuff. I hate that. Like, teams fans messing with their stuff. Like,
just don't touch anything when you go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just watch the game and call it a freaking
keep
day.
Your hands to yourself, man.
Yeah, like you guys didn't learn this in preschool. Keep your hands in the line, stay in the line, hold hands with whoever you're with, and call it a day.
Yeah, you can't mess with that kind of stuff. That being said, it'll be a close game.
Well, somebody rang my doorbell.
Damn, you got Uber Eats or something?
Hold on.
All right.
Damn, I can't cut this out. So yeah, my wife's gonna answer the door. But yeah, crap. Where were we? Oh yeah, so the Rocky statue. Yeah, so don't mess with. That's bad juju.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll let you take this question. So this comes from Jay Fish at J.Rel.
Yeah.
With such a blowout win, in what area of the team were you least impressed with, or think could be cleaned up in future games, and why?
I feel like the obvious one is the penalties. Too many penalties. But I mean, that everyone noticed that. I think that possibly underrated was the line. Like, that's what I was talking about. Is the start? Is we really got to start better on defense. I love Alex Singleton. Big fan of Eric Wilson as well. But I think, again, like, just athletic guys, and sometimes they try and take advantage of that a bit too much, and so they're over pursuing. Smart teams are going to see that, and they're going to take advantage. They're going to run counters. They're going to run backside pulls with the guard. They're going to do stuff, even just running zone and just having the cutback lane there. They're going to take advantage of that. So just being more disciplined. Obviously that ties into the penalties as well, but I think that'll come. Jonathan Gannon really seems to stress that kind of stuff. I think it is just kind of early, but that being said, on the other side, the Falcons are having a lot of penalties. I would say that the Eagles' penalties were self-inflicted. I think, and it's hard to tell on the on the film, but I think that a lot of those issues the Falcons were having were caused by the confusion that the Eagles were causing. Like, I think they're like, they saw a lot of offsides, they saw a lot of holdings, and they just didn't know who was coming, who was going, and they dropped defensive ends back into coverage. So if the discipline can get there and we can enact that, I think it's going to be a very difficult team to just get up on the line, especially at the link. It's rocking, it's going to be loud. So again, I kind of went over the question, but yeah, discipline at the linebacker position. That was the big thing where I need to see improvement, especially early on in the game.
So I'm going to go with the linebacker position as well, just because. So Eric Wilson and Jannard Avery, I'm pretty sure they had most of the snaps at linebacker.
That it was like the third play when Jannard Avery was like in open space and just fell. You see it? Oh my god! So
it's funny because those two were the least graded linebackers for the Eagles, according to PFF. The highest graded linebacker, according to PFF, was Sean Bradley, and I think he had a grade of like 72 plus or something like that. Avery to me was never a good guy in coverage, pass coverage. Eric Wilson, that jury's still out. Right. Alex Singleton, jury's still out a bit. TJ Edwards, great run stopper. When the hell are they going to give Sean Bradley the opportunity that he deserves? Like, the kid has shown out, and he's shown he could do more than what's asked of him. He had, I think it was like 9 or 19 plays. I'm sorry, it escapes me right now. But the linebacker core, the coaching staff need to clean it up. They need to figure out who's going to be the face of the linebackers. Who's going to be your Mike, your Will, your Sam? Who's going to be the guys in the clutch for the game? Who's going to be representing your defense? Who's going to be leading your defense from that position? Because your defensive line is straight. Your cornerbacks, all three of them are ranked in the top 20. After the first game. Safeties, once Ronnie McLeod is back, he'll be good. When Kayvon Wallace starts, like I said, taking advantage of his opportunities, he'll show up. Anthony Harris, no question, he's a stud. But your linebacker core, like, you need to pick the guy. I understand you want to keep everybody fresh. You want a rotation. That's perfectly fine. Jernard Avery and Eric Wilson together didn't work well against the Falcons. And at least to me, they didn't. And obviously to PFF as well. So I expect them to mix it up against the 49ers. I expect to see Sean Bradley. I expect to see Alex Singleton more. Work to their strengths. I mean, it's weird because the coaching staff preaches that they're going to coach their players to their strengths and, to their best abilities. The linebacker core, it didn't look like that, in my opinion.
That's true. Well, and here's the breakdown. Eric Wilson got 85% of the snaps. I think that makes sense. I think you bring him in to be the guy. But then what you're talking about afterwards, TJ Edwards got 40%, Alex Singleton got 60%, Jernard Avery got 31%, and then Bradley had 9 plays. And then I was surprised too. We saw Avonte Maddox covering Kyle Pitts for the most part.
Yeah,
he did well.
He did well, but can we emphasize something? Why can't Avonte Maddox tackle like a regular player? He throws himself like he's playing Madden. Like he completely misses the tackle almost every time.
Sometimes there was that one weird tackle he had. It was like a PBU and a tackle at the same time. Yeah, you just kind of jumped at him like a spider monkey. It was a bit strange.
It's weird. It worked. But to overlook the grades, I have him right here actually. So Jernard Avery received a PFF grade of 36.3.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
Bad. Yeah.
Eric Wilson graded out at 44.4. Alex Singleton 63.1. TJ Edwards 50. And then Sean Bradley 73.8. And he only played a total of 9 snaps.
Yeah. I feel like at this point of his career, Jernard Avery is a stand-up pass rusher in a 3-4. That's what he is.
Yeah, they're just trying to make sense of the 4th round pick used to acquire him at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a reason why we saw him at the beginning of the game and then didn't see much of him for the rest of the game. And the defense got better too. But
I completely agree.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So last question. Damn.
All right.
We're 30 minutes in, and I feel like it really went by pretty damn quick. Yeah, right.
We're efficient.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely.
No pun intended. Chris, do not get offended by this. This comes from Bry Guy 90, the Bry Guy 90 on Twitter. Sorry. Has there ever been a player that bought into the Philly swag more than Hurts?
I saw this question at the beginning. I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to say. So maybe you go first, because
I feel like we might say the same player.
Yeah,
because
I was going to say number 7.
Oh,
but number 10 too.
All right.
I don't know that dream team.
Are we talking about football? Or are we only talking about football players? That's, I guess we got to categorize
it. Okay. Fair enough.
Because I was thinking Allen Iverson.
Okay, yeah.
That's a given. He's not from Philly, if I'm not mistaken. He's from like West Virginia or something like that. Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he completely embraced the culture of Philadelphia. Like you saw him rocking Philly swag. You saw him rocking Eagles swag.
Yeah.
Like, to me, he embodied what Philly was.
Yeah, he's synonymous with like Philly culture for sure. Yeah, Virginia. He's from Virginia.
Yeah.
See, this is me. This is what I grew up on, and I know it was like a childhood and all that stuff, but it was Allen Iverson. It was Mike Vick. That was what changed it for me. I'd never seen basketball players, football players wear like big chains to interview, like dress how they wanted to, talk like not talking interviews like the way you're supposed to and all that. And it changed. Like I just was so much more into sports there. Like they changed everything for me, and it was Philly. Yeah. And that's when I knew, man. I mean, Atlanta with Vic, obviously it was Atlanta, but then came to Philly, and one of the greatest redemption stories I think you can talk about. I know there's some people out, still on the jury with that one, but bought into what Philly stood for, and I think I think Hurts, give him 3-5 years. He might be synonymous with them as well, but can't really beat AI.
Yeah, I think AI really defined he defined the culture of Philadelphia. I mean, the guy, pretty much what he said. He rocked the chains, the long jerseys, to to these press conferences, to showing up to the arena. Like he wasn't wearing a suit and tie like Jordan. He didn't want to be Michael Jordan. He wanted to be Allen Iverson, and that's Philly right there. You get me? Yeah. The Eagles fans don't want to be nothing else but Eagles fans. You get me? The Philly fans don't want to be nothing else but Philly fans. They're not gonna go around rocking a Mets hat just because it's a cute color. No, they're rocking their red, they're rocking their green, they're rocking their orange and black. Like that's just Philly. You don't play with Philly culture. That's what I've learned.
You got the Phillies hat then?
No, absolutely not. I'm a Mets fan, bro. Like that's not happening.
No, you brought it up and you're like, oh, I was like, oh, but
listen, anyway. Listen. I became a basketball fan. Obviously in Jordan days, but I didn't understand Jordan's play. But Allen Iverson is the guy who actually
100%.
Yeah, brought me into the fandom of basketball.
100%.
I had the AI jerseys, I had the AI sneakers. Like it was Allen Iverson or bust.
6 foot guy making all these big guys look silly. Like it was just changed it for me for sure. I was gonna wear my I was gonna wear it backwards so you couldn't see, but I was gonna wear my Raptors hat, and I was like, I can't do that. Not on this spot. It was gonna be backwards, but it's red, so it's
it doesn't sting because we still have Ben Simmons who still hasn't shown up in the past 2 playoffs. So
I swear, if we trade for Ben Simmons, I might not be a Raptors fan anymore. Bro.
I don't get it. Like, how do you not shoot? Like, how's that a thing? Like, how do you make it to the league and you don't freaking shoot? Even Ricky Rubio shoots, and he's terrible at shooting.
Honestly, bro, man, look at DeMar. DeMar could not shoot. DeMar was in the dunk contest, like, and it's mid range. He's not shooting threes, but like at least he's tackled.
I don't get it. You're getting paid millions to buy your freaking Lambos, to date these freaking model women that you always dating. Like, just shoot the freaking ball, bro.
He looks out like all these off season like training.
I don't want to talk about those gym videos.
Yeah, that's
damn gym videos, man.
It looks like it's good technique. You just won't do it in a game. I don't understand that, but hey, we'll take any more fans you want. We can be your second favorite team if you want, but Raptors Nation is we're strong, we're proud, so. The offer's always out there.
No, I'm good. Listen. I'll stick with the Sixers. It took me a long time to actually be a fan of the team again.
Yeah.
For a while, I was just a fan of players.
Scotty's gonna be unreal, bro. 3-5 years. Oh, Scotty's gonna be nuts.
Let's see how this gonna.
Pascal, Freddie. How do you not want to cheer for that? I mean, obviously, I'm talking blasphemy right now on the thing on the pod. That's bad.
But. Let's see where Joel Embiid ends up, man. Because if that guy can stay healthy, he's gonna be dominant.
I'm a fan of Joel. Except for the crying thing, he got put on blast for that.
Listen, I mean, if I came that close to tasting NBA Finals glory, I would have cried in a freaking corner all night drinking a beer.
That's fair.
I wouldn't have made it home. I would have been in a back alley somewhere, reliving like Batman's life or something.
Imagine Embiid, bro, like all 7'2" of him just chilling in a back alley, just sipping
with a big old North Face on, or a Canada Goose.
one of those crazy ass beers that Chris has with the 7.8%,
and it'd be like a 26.2.
Yeah, with the dragons on it and skulls and stuff.
Oh man, that'd be terrible. But hey, that wraps up all the questions. First and foremost, thank you to everybody who sent their questions in. Again, we're gonna keep this going weekly. We'll start probably fishing for questions on right after the game on Sundays to kind of build up more questions throughout the week. But yeah, this pod is not meant to be an hour long. It's gonna be something short, something simple, get to the point where we talk about all your questions and answer them to our best ability.
For sure, man. I mean, keep shooting them. We love to answer them, and we are planning on answering as many as we can, man. Like we just want fan interaction. We want Eagles interaction. We love talking football. So for those of you that did send in a question, great. Tell your friends.
It's funny. Like, there was a mailbag episode, and somebody rang my doorbell.
Yeah,
I feel like I was on Blue School. Like it was mail time.
Carrier pigeon or something like that.
Yeah, but they did in the beginning of the episode. That would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, that'd be dope. And may even have some guests on here too. So if you're part of the Philly media and want to talk football with us, like this is a great opportunity. We'd love to have you on. So yeah, thanks again, man. I had a lot of fun as always.
No, absolutely. But yeah, this is Flipping the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Morgan Burkett, and we'll see you guys next week.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.